guys have a little extra pep in their step, you go to them early and often.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
Oh, Brandon, that was a big play by the defense to keep him at the end zone on 3rd down. So there's an early decision to be made here, isn't there? I know that 3 is awfully tempting, but I'd pull on my big boy pants right now, and I'd go for it.
And Sturgis able to knock it through, and the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is, still first quarter, and they didn't come out of it with points. In a sense, they could look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
Here's a carry for the former Dolphin. It's Damian Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
It's complete to Chris Conley. A good pickup there at 22.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the 1st down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a 1st down.
If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
Now it's Long. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Rivers. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball.
12. Set. 380.
Now Gordon on first down. Despite the heavy running, he'll be hit and drop shy of the 45. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll try to throw here. Rivers. Throw left side complete. That's Henry. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he stopped immediately there. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends are like in a sprinter stance.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Joey Bosa in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated doubles, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward, and this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now it's his carry for Melvin Gordon. The pass rush specialist, Dee Ford, in on the stop.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
To throw is Rivers, and able to find Green. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Rivers now. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Dee Ford in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
So it's 3rd and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough. From the gun, Rivers. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And Sturgis able to knock it through, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That is incomplete. Kelsey, the intended receiver there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Love. And able to find Conley. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Kill.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On 2nd down, here's Locke. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit. A final shot before the break. Locke. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill as time expires in the first half. And the Chiefs have tied it, and they can take the lead with the extra point. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to...
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. To throw on 2nd down is Locke. He's got Watkins on the out route. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board...
And he will try, but he can't. He can't escape the end zone. Gordon is taken down, and it's a safety. So the Chiefs able to force the safety there. I think you probably give an assist to this Kansas City crowd at Arrowhead.
And don't they love it? They love being part of the game and having an influence on the game because they make it awfully difficult to function, especially when you're backed up deep in your own territory. I think there's a little more going on here than just crowd noise, though. But the home field advantage at Arrowhead, definitely that. A big-time advantage.
And now here comes Kansas City. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
On 1st and 10, Locke. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Here's Locke. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there, creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Butker able to put this one through. And they double their lead, pushing it up now to 12-6. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. Well, they don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Rivers now from the 50. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
A plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Chargers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a 1st down throw, Locke. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. How did he stay on his feet? And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now a play fake, and it's Locke. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. 3rd and long. It's Locke. The tight end Kelce has it over the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Heading back out, the Chargers offense. We get a peek at the playoff picture of the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of...
There goes Melvin Gordon. He's at the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there on the catch and run. 72 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the...
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
To the right side, it's Kelsey. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
They go play action here on first down. Melvin Ingram in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on second down. Play action. It's Locke. Looking for Kelsey. He's got a man. Complete. The 30. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Travis Kelsey, 81 yards. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And around the goal line, especially on two-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now?
And the ball is knocked out. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And over the middle here, Amaro. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
This is caught, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
eluding the pressure right. And that's caught. It's Kelce. Touchdown, Kansas City. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point up and through. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Butker now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Henry's got it out on the left side. Give him 30 yards there. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Rivers to throw it. Man open left side. It's Williams. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time, and that'll make it 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. He's going to let it fly. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Rivers on 2nd and 10. Benjamin with it over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Rivers to Benjamin, good for the Charger 1st down. On 1st and 10, Rivers looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Henry. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. They'll throw again. Rivers. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. A 1st down throw here for Rivers. Throw left side complete. That's Henry. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Set. Run 80. Be hot.
Again, it's Rivers. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Rivers now. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. He's going to let it, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation, and that will write a finish to this ball game. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it.